Next, we move to Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, where we sat down with the Commissioner for Commerce and Industry there, Mr. Bimbo Ashiru, who speaks about the partnership between the Bank of Industry and the state government, as well as the impact of the bank's intervention on MSMEs in the state. You're a veteran commissioner in Ogun State. You've run the Ministry of Commerce and Industry for several years. Tell me how it really runs.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. I remember when we came in 2011, the first thing I did was to meet with my colleagues in the ministry. We now marshal the strategies, the way forward, how can we achieve this? Because according to World Bank report, we are number 35 in terms of ease of doing business in this country. And I said, well, how can we be like that? What has happened? What went wrong? And each time we go outside the country to woo investors with His Excellency, the questions that have been asked is, how do you want to convince us to come and do business in your state? A state that is being regarded as number 35 in terms of ease of doing business with 36 states in the country and with every federal capital, which is the 37th one. And we said, no, it's not possible. We wrote to the World Bank, right of reply, to find out what and to let them know how we have improved on things. Yes, I can tell you. For example, in this ministry, business premises permit, for an investor to get approval, it takes minimum 6 weeks, maximum 6 months. And I asked, what are the things we need? Because we have different zones in the state. And I found that proof of address. And I said, look, it's not a big deal. Why don't we just tell them to bring utility bills, and then we give it to them? And we're able to reduce that to 24 hours. It's a case study, and they were so impressed that we're able to do that.
I mean, based on all that you have said, you may have done some work in the area of creating a better business environment in Ogun State, but there are still very real issues in terms of infrastructure. I'll tell you, I've been to quite a number of industries in the Agbara axis of the state, where you have the industrial estate there. And the road there, that axis is quite deplorable, to say the least. We have Nestle, we have Biloxi, we have quite a number of them there. And you see, I've also spoken to them, those who are clients of the Bank of Industry, and they're singing the same song about infrastructure, road. What's the plan?
Well, I'm happy that you mentioned that, Kaudi. I remember vividly when we commissioned P&G, and the vice president then said, we have actually awarded this contract. Because see, it's a federal road. But having said that, if you see how much we've spent over 160 billion in trying to fix some of these federal roads, and we have not been paid back. Are you getting my point? For example, you look at Ijebu-Ode, the bridge at Mobile Phone. Look at some of these major roads that we've done. We've done them, they're all federal roads. But what we have done now is that the Agbara road you are talking about, they've actually awarded our contract to different people in the last few years. But I have good news for you that we've started construction on that road. You see that we've done about 3 bridges that we are fixing there in order to get the level. And I'm happy that the vice president, with the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, said that they have a fund, industrial trust funds, that is going to be used to fund that area. We are not unaware of the fact of the deplorable condition of those roads, but we are taking, actually there are so many things that are in the front burner, and we are taking ownership. We've started fixing that road, but we pray that the federal government will compensate. But now that the industrial funds is coming in, I will give you 2 examples. The road where we have hired, we partnered with the investors there, the industries there. We put down 70% and they put down 30%, and you could see what we've done. We spent over 1.something billion on that road. The road is Ogun Standard Road, fantastic road. And actually, they were so happy about it, and they thanked the state government. So some of these industries too, they are now coming together to form a partnership so that we can fix the road. I've held meetings with some of these industries. Unilever, actually, they are championing it, and we've met severally on that. We rest assured that we are not unaware of that, and we are focusing on fixing those roads. And very soon, you start seeing a lot of work being done on the road. But you could see that at Lusada Junction, we've started fixing the bridges, the flyover, because you need to get that level before you start doing the road. So it's just a matter of time. You can be rest assured that. And another thing I want to tell you is that all the projects we embarked upon, by the grace of Almighty God, we want to complete them before we leave in 2018.
The Ogun State government and the Bank of Industry are long-term partners. Can you tell me about the levels of partnership that you have with the Bank of Industry, and what the impact of those partnerships have been?
Thank you very much. We started in 2011, November. We had a JV joint venture whereby we put down 500 million, they put down 500 million, making 1 billion naira. And I'm happy to tell you that the first set of beneficiaries are the Adire people. In May 2012, they got it, and that was the fund they used to supply most of the Adire materials they used during the Olympics in England. And this fund is single digit, 7%. We are actually subsidizing because from Bank of England it's 10%, but we are subsidizing everything, both our own job part and Bank of England's part. And what we've done is that the funding, for the first 6 months, you don't pay the interest. So what we do, they have a moratorium on that. And I'm happy to tell you that about 111 cooperatives have actually benefited from it. About 146 individuals have actually collected it and benefited from it. And 9 entrepreneurs have actually come. So what has happened now is that it has created direct and indirect jobs for over 200,000 people because of the value chain that is involved. And what we've done is that the cooperatives, you must have formed cooperatives for you to be able to benefit from that. And yes, by and large, we found out that we had challenges about the payment, but we've now been able to see how, because people saw the money as national cake, and we said, no, it's not national cake. It is the benefits for everybody, so that when you pay back as I went due, other people can benefit from it. So we've been able to work on that. And Bank of Industry have been fantastic partners in progress with us. And we are doing, I'm happy to tell you that about 600 million naira has actually been disbursed to date. It's a revolving loan, and other people are now benefiting from it too. We have, we've sent over 300 requisitions to them now, which will start getting payment. Because see, one thing we've done is that we've been able to scrutinize this, and once you come in to apply, we will teach you on how your immediate plans, medium and long-term plans, and we look at the case studies, how you do your analysis, bookkeeping and everything. Because one of the problems we have is that these people are not well educated, so they don't even understand what they call bookkeeping, and we've encouraged them to open accounts with the banks. Because if you don't have accounts with the banks, you'll be diverting the funds, and these funds are being disbursed through the banks. You must have an account. So that has helped us a lot. And having said that, there is another fund where we have for the women, which is about 200 million naira through the EcoBank too. It has really helped too. Over 30,000 women have actually benefited from these funds, single-digit interest rate, which is about 5% or so. So it's something that we are doing to help people. And during these BOI loans, we did capacity building. We trained about 1,000 unemployed graduates, which has even helped them on how to do bookkeeping, financial analysis, and everything. So it has really helped. And we have other forms of partnership with the FITSA. I just finished the meeting with them now. We are targeting 5,000 unemployed graduates. With the first set, which is essentially just a launch, flagged off recently, they are going to teach them different vocations. And this is free of charge. And we are focusing on all the local governments and LCDs we have in Ogun State. Presently, 500 have started. The target is 5,000, and we're going to have all the 3 zones in the state. So we have the East, the West, and the Central. So it's really working out very well, and we have seen a lot of success in it.
So the Bank of Industry is executing the federal government's Enterprise and Empowerment Program, which is GEEP market money. Yeah. They've disbursed the money all over the country. They've literally covered all the states. And recently, the monies were disbursed also in Ogun State. Can you tell me about the Bank of Industry's performance in executing that loan in Ogun State?
Oh, yes. I can tell you that it has been very good. And I can tell you that they've disbursed about 420 million, and about 7,000 individuals have benefited from it, which has actually increased and created wealth for these people. Because, see, this is kind of money that you need to, and like I mentioned earlier, the bane of our small-scale industries problem, our MSME, is funding. And 95% of this business are our mothers, sisters, and our friends. So it has helped a lot. And it's a very funny thing that people don't even understand, that at times, women when they take this money, they pay back as when due. I'm not saying men don't pay back, but you see, they are more focused on this, and they penetrate everywhere. And this has helped. I will give kudos to the federal government on this project and the Bank of Industry. See, Bank of Industry has actually helped to enhance and help businesses to grow in this country. And I think it's a continuous thing. So one of the things that we are looking at is now how to help them more on this, how to increase this. And I noticed that Bank of Industry, they are coming in, getting feedbacks on areas to support. And that has really helped. And I will tell you this, Bank of Industry have been partner in progress with us in Ogun State. They've really supported us. And the GEEP program that came in is a regular thing. I remember during the launching, all the beneficiaries are so happy about it. And these are things that we need to continue to do on a regular basis. And not only that, there are other areas, like I spoke about it recently, that some of these funds too, the SMEs funds should always be channeled through the Bank of Industries, the ones that are meant for MSMEs. It helps because they have the capacity to be able to monitor all these funds all over the country. The ones that are meant for the agricultural thing, Bank of Agriculture can help. So Bank of Industry has actually lived up to their expectation in this area. And not only on SMEs, even industries, they've actually helped. So these are things that is the value chain for them. They are helping the small-scale industries, they are helping the medium-scale industries, and they are helping the large industries. So the value chain is completed. So because even all these big industries, if they have all these funds and they are producing all these goods, how will they get to the final consumer? It is through the MSMEs that I get. So they've really done very well. They've lived up to their expectation. And I believe that with Ogun State, with these G funds, I say that hopefully, because I heard that the target is over 50,000 people. So, and these are things that is coming up on a regular basis, and they are meeting with our colleagues, our people who are in charge. And I believe that they will go places and they will create more wealth with these funds.
The Bank of Industry is always on the lookout for ways to help businesses maximize their potentials in the marketplace. It does this through facilitating capacity building programs and engaging in strategic partnerships, as you have seen on the program today. You also can benefit from what the Bank of Industry is doing. For more on how to secure the BOI's intervention, visit any of their branches closest to you. Otherwise, log on to their website at boi.ng. You can also apply for loans online. Download the BOI SME loan app from the Google Play Store and follow the instructions. Feel free to tweet at me at KAY-Alayande. Previous editions of the show are all available on youtube.com. All you've got to do is type BOI Weekly in the search area. And there you go. That's a wrap on the show today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Kayode Alayande. Bye now.